Happy Thursday. If video right this very second over on Facebook, you are watching the replay very likely. Please put hashtag replay in the comments so we know when you're watching. So we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. So y'all please talk to me. Tell me hello. Tell me how you're doing today. We love to know all of those things. Today we're going to make a dozen roses in a crystal vase that was provided to us by the customer. She is celebrating, she and her husband are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary, and so she wanted a dozen pink roses in shades of pink. So that's what we're going to do today. This is a beautiful cut crystal vase. It's so pretty and it's so heavy. Like, it's really a very heavy leaded crystal vase, and we're just going to design in it. I do have Owen here and I have Victoria here, so y'all talk to me, ask me questions as we go along. This usually doesn't take very long, so y'all talk to me and it'll take a little longer. I'm gonna do what, babe?
Do you need leather?
I think I have some lemon leaf, so we'll see if that works. And if I need leather, we'll go get some. Does that sound good?
We have lots of hellos on Facebook.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. So glad y'all are here with me this afternoon. So Callie picked out some beautiful foliage. We've got two different types of eucalyptus. I have some holly fern. We have cocculus. We have some lemon leaf, and then we have a little bit of iliagnus. So we're going to start out with lemon leaf or salal, and I am just going to take that using my floral knife. I am going to cut that little stem and just tuck that lemon leaf into the vase. Now, lemon leaf is very long lasting. It's a really long lasting hardy foliage. I will say it's not ever been my favorite, and it's strictly because it kind of has its own growth pattern. It can be kind of wonky. But these are salal tips instead of like the real long pieces of salal. I prefer the tips.
They're asking, how did the college drop-off go yesterday?
It went really good. He was fine. I think it was Jason and I that had a harder time than Micah. He was like, bye guys, see you later.
Did you read Miss Jane Lewis's comment, Victoria, on YouTube? She says, good evening, glad to catch you live.
So glad you're here, Jane. Thank you for watching.
And Miss Andrews says hi from Scotland as well.
Hello, hello. Thank y'all for being here. I'm going to go grab some plant shine, because this is kind of dull. So give me 2 seconds. Get a little leather too.
She'll be right back. I swear we're never ready for these lives as often as we do them. Thank you, Odd, for following us on TikTok.
I grabbed a little bit of leather leaf too, because I don't know. I think I'm going to start over.
Thank you for all the likes on TikTok as well. Go ahead.
Sweet Briar says, love my bows. I received them yesterday. I'm already making a fall wreath.
Yay! Please share a picture with us. We would love to see it.
Virginia Coleman says, hello ladies, missed y'all. I've been in the hospital with COVID. Please remember me in your prayers. Come home with home health, and looking forward to watching you today.
Oh, goodness gracious. I am so sorry you have been so sick, friend. We will certainly keep you in our prayers. Okay, I added the leather because see how much it gives us a lot more than the lemon leaf does. Next, I'm going to come in with the lemon leaf because I just pulled it out. So I'm just recutting those stems and adding it in.
Mr. Brian Banks says hello from Northeast Missouri.
Welcome, Brian. Thank you for being here.
Miss Nina asks, where is he going to school?
Micah is going to ICC. It is just a little college in North Mississippi. It's Itawamba Community College, and he's going to play soccer there. So the reason they went to school so early is because they're doing all their soccer prep and soccer practices and all that fun stuff. Okay, so I added some salal and some leather leaf. So I'm going to take a little bit of green glow. Green glow is just a plant shine. Now these are the foliages that just kind of look a little matte and not real clean. So all I'm going to do is take those watermarks right off by using that little green glow. You can use any variety of plant shine that you want to, but that's the variety that we have in right now.
Odd on TikTok asks where we're from.
We are in Mississippi.
Miss Donna Coker on YouTube says, hi from Liberty, South Carolina. Glad to catch you live.
So glad you're here, Donna. Thank you for watching. So this type of foliage is called cocculus foliage. Y'all, I really like it. Like, I ordered it again. I really have enjoyed you. Do you like this, Victoria?
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's so showy and pretty. It reminds you a little bit of palm, a little more rigid than palm, but it's not so a big palm leaf, but it's really pretty. I have really enjoyed using it, and I've never really used it much, so it's fun to use. We like mixed foliage a lot.
Rhea Norman says, I remember.
Foliage. I want to say that correctly.
Miss Rhea says, I remember when my Harris left for university. I cried when we dropped him off. When he went to nursery school, I cried. His first day at school, I cried. When Harry went, it was bye, and off we went.
Now, how far apart are her children in age?
I don't know.
Okay, next we're going to come in with a little bit of holly fern. So if you look at holly fern really closely, it looks like holly, except it doesn't bite like holly. Holly really bites. So I'm going to take that and tuck it in. Yeah, I would say that's exactly the feeling you have when you drop your child off at college, is the kindergarten feeling. I can remember for Owen, I think he changed schools in the 3rd grade. And when I dropped my 3rd grader off at the new school, and Owen was so sad, I and all the kindergarten moms were crying. Me and all the kindergarten moms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that was the saddest thing I ever did to Owen, was drop him off at the 3rd grade at his new school.
Rhea says they're 3 years and 2 months apart.
Okay. So mine are 4 years apart in age and 5 years apart in school. Next, I'm going to come in with a little bit of Iliagnus. And so Iliagnus is really kind of neat. It puts off these shoots, which I really enjoy using. They're not very long right now, so we're just going to kind of tuck them in. It just gives us a little bit of a different texture. And you know me, I love texture.
Gray wants to know what this is for.
Gray, this is for an anniversary. They're having an anniversary party. It's their 50th wedding anniversary. So this is one of the shoots from the Iliagnus outside. And so it almost kind of gives you that pretty line, almost like a branch would.
Odd says they moved to LA, and they also asked how long you've been a florist. She's an old florist, is what she said.
Fantastic. So I have been a florist. I went to school and graduated in 1999. That sounds crazy. And so I have been in the floral industry since 1996. So that would be, how many years, Victoria? 23 years? Is that right?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I've been in the floral industry since 1996.
So 28.
And is it 28 years?
28, 29.
Somewhere. I've been in here a long time. No, is it 29 years
Well,
since 1996?
I was born in 98 and I'll be turning 26.
Okay, so yeah, a long time. That's why I have Victoria. She has to do the math. Seeded eucalyptus, pretty seeded eucalyptus. I just trimmed that stem and I'm just going to nestle it right there in the center. And then we will finish our arrangement with our, this is called, what did they call it? I always want to call it willow eucalyptus, but she called it feather eucalyptus. So it's really just pretty. I don't know if that's the same variety and just 2 different names. Not exactly sure, but it's really pretty. We'll add that at the end.
Tiff says, love watching your lives. I'm a licensed florist in Louisiana, but live in Texas now.
Hello, hello. So glad you're here. You know, something that's kind of neat is Louisiana is the only state in the United States that you have to have a floral license to have a flower shop or be a florist. In the state of Mississippi, I have to have a business license, but I do not have to have a floral license. Just kind of interesting. I wish you had to have a floral license, but
Miss Mary Lou wants to know how your mom's doing this week with chemo.
Mama's doing really pretty good. She's very tired, but Robbie found out that her blood pressure's bottoming out. She has been on high blood pressure medicine because she had issues with one of the chemos giving her high blood pressure. Well, that chemo, they took her off of that particular chemo, and so her blood pressure's bottoming. And Mama didn't tell Robbie that, and so Robbie pulled her off of her medicine. So that's the reason she's been so tired and so weak feeling. And so Robbie fixed that with her medicine. So we're hoping that she gets to feeling more up and upbeat and feeling better. So I'm taking these roses, and you can see they kind of have little ruffly petals. So that's what we would call the guard petal. And I am going to take and remove those guard petals. So a guard petal is meant to, it's the first petal, it's the outer petal, the outermost petal on the rose. And it is meant to protect that bud from any of the elements as it grows. And so most of the time those petals aren't the prettiest, so you go ahead and remove those. I'm taking a florist wire, I like 21 gauge, and I am pressing it into the calyx, which is the swollen part right up underneath the rose, and I am just wrapping that around the stem. Now I understand completely that not everybody wires roses. For me personally, I like to wire my roses because it's a little bit of insurance, meaning it's going to keep that head standing up straight and tall.
Miss Mary Ann says hello to everyone. So happy to finally catch a live. Love all of you and all the fabulous postings. You all are the best. I always get scolded for using a lot of greens in my arrangements, and she only lets me use 3 pieces. Such a joy watching you create. Thank you so very much, in gratitude and appreciation.
I would be so sad if I only got to use 3 pieces of foliage. I think my girls might be too, huh? Mm-hmm. It might make Victoria sad.
Mm-hmm. Maria says, when Harris came back from university, Harvey went. She said it was hard trying to remember which food who liked and which food they didn't like.
So Micah Thomas is only about an hour and a half away, so he's not terribly too far away. So we can get to him. Our plans are to go and watch him play as much as we possibly can, play soccer. And so I've got to get my his soccer schedule calendar so that I know when we're going and all the things. We're excited. So each of these roses, you do exactly the same thing. I'm just removing any of the outer petals that don't look good, taking that wire and wrapping it right around that stem. Remove any of that lower foliage that might fall below the water line, but leave as much of the pretty foliage on the stem as you possibly can. It's just adding foliage to your arrangement, and it didn't cost extra money, so go ahead and use it. I said one time that foliage was free, and somebody fussed and said, it is not free, so don't throw it away.
Merlene Brown says, just had a horrible wind and rainstorm in southern Indiana. Limbs down in our yard, and all my front porch plants are out in the yard. Hope it is over for the night.
I am so sorry. So this is called Pink Floyd. I might have, did I put it in my pocket? I took the tag off the pale pink roses, and I don't know what I did with it. to tell you the variety. And I laid it down somewhere. So I don't know the variety of the pale pink, but this deep pink is called Pink Floyd. Now they open up really wide, and so I'm going to use those a little lower in this arrangement. Look how pretty that pink rose is. So pretty. And the Pink Floyd has a really pretty fragrance. It's really very fragrant.
Alexandra says hi from Romania. I don't think we've
Hello.
had someone from Romania watching.
Maybe not. You might be our first. Welcome, welcome.
Odd says the leaf helps move water to the balloon. Talking about why are you pulling off all the leaves, I guess, for the roses.
Well, when you pull off all the leaves, it helps for the water to go directly to the bloom. Yes, I agree. If you remove all of the leaves, then the water goes directly to the bloom instead of to the foliage. So I guess that's a lot of the reason people will pull the foliage off. But roses aren't terribly prone to get too dehydrated with like a hydrangea. Like a hydrangea, I always do my best to pull off the foliage. Although I don't love that, I do pull the foliage off all hydrangeas because that head will wilt. It's prone to have wilting.
Miss Donna says her florist she worked for would only let her use 6 leather leaf stems and counted all the flowers.
Now we do count all the flowers and we do count our foliage, but we do use more foliage. But we do count it. Now it's always important that you do count everything. So this rose has a few little, it's been bumped, so it has a few little bumps, so I'm removing a few more of those petals. But yeah, we do count all of the foliage. With this one, she just wanted pretty foliage and roses, and so that's the reason we're using so many foliages, because we're using them in place of the filler flower.
They're loving the pinks. They're loving the vase.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it would be hard if you told me that I could only use 6 pieces of leather leaf and I had no other foliage. Because to me, honestly, foliage really makes an arrangement.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Shirley Arnett says hello from SoCal. Love, love, love y'all, and have learned so much.
So glad you're here, Miss Shirley. Thank you for watching.
Miss Barbara Myers says hi from Brisbane, Australia. And
Hello, Barbara.
Miss Allison says hi, watching from England.
Hello, Allison. So glad you're here. Okay, I don't like that guy up there. He's so high. Roses are not easy. I don't know about y'all, but designing roses is never easy. And I know there are tricks to kind of go, you go, what, 5 around, and then 4, and then 3, and then whatever, but it's always hard to me. Victoria makes the prettiest roses in the shop, and I think she gets aggravated.
No.
Because we always say, Victoria, you have to make this one, because you make the prettiest designs. But you really do.
Oh, thank you.
Alright, so there is a dozen roses. I have 6 of the light pink and then 6 of the dark pink. And so I've designed all the way around. This is going to be the front. It will be placed on a table near a cake. You do want it pretty on the back. It is pretty on the back, but not quite as pretty on the back as it is on the front. To finish the arrangement, I am going to add some eucalyptus. They call this feather euc.
Kevin says, how are you wiring your rose stems? I've never done that and would like to know what it helps with.
I will show you. I will go get another rose really quickly and show you exactly. I'll come closer to the camera so you can see it. The reason I wire roses, you'll grab that for me, Owen, thank you. I've got wire. The reason I wire roses is because if the roses are not hydrated enough, so a lot of times you will deliver flowers And the person who receives it, the recipient, does not realize you need to add water to your flowers, right? Flowers need to be watered every single day. When you receive a flower arrangement as a gift, water it every day. Change that water every other day. But what it does is, thank you, Owen, me wiring that rose is going to guarantee that the head is not going to droop. So the heads of the roses are really fairly heavy, especially if the flower gets dehydrated, the stem gets really weak. And so the rose itself will dip just like that. So what I like to do, and I have done it since I've been in the business, I've always wired roses. And so for me, it's just a guarantee. I lift up the little foliage on the rose, and there's a little swollen part. Which camera am I looking at, Owen? The one right in front of me? Is that?
There's all three on them.
But is it YouTube?
It's TikTok.
It's TikTok? Okay. So there's a swollen part right up underneath the rose. See that little swollen part right there underneath the rose? That's called the calyx. I'm going to take that wire and just press it in so the wire is just sticking out just like that. And then I'm going to take that wire and just wrap it right around that stem, going around that foliage. And that's just going to keep that head standing up. It's never going to dip. Even if it gets dehydrated, that head is not going to dip down. It'll stay firm and pretty. And a lot of florists don't do that. I do it because it makes me feel better. It's kind of like for balloons, I like to high float all of our balloons. When you put high float in them, it just means it's going to make those balloons last longer. And so I just know that if I wire all those roses, it's going to guarantee that those heads will stay up, standing, and people will think they lasted longer even if they don't.
Alexandra asks, are you using the Fibonacci technique in the bouquet?
Okay, so I have no idea what the Fibonacci technique is, so I need to research that.
It'd be fun.
We will research that. So I have no idea. You have to tell me.
Miss Joan High says that she tuned in late. What is the occasion?
Miss Joan, this is for a 50th wedding anniversary. And they are going to host a little party. And they wanted these pretty shades of pink roses for the table with the cake. And maybe they had pink roses for their wedding. I'm not exactly sure. But she just wanted pretty shades of pink.
Odd says the leaf pulls water away from the stem, which helps keep the rose from bowing its head, which I did not know.
So leave the leaf on or remove the leaf? Is that what he's...
Well, to keep the rose from bowing, I guess since you wire them, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But if you didn't wire them, you would leave the leaves on.
He would?
And they also say it's very lovely.
Thank you guys. And there is our very simply designed dozen roses.
Valerie says, glad to catch you live, spending time with my mom tonight, and she loves to watch you make flowers.
Fantastic, Valerie. Tell your mama we said hello.
You have a lot of folks empathizing with dropping your kids off.
That is tough. Now my Owen, I never had to drop off. Owen stayed home. I was saying yesterday on the video that it's interesting. Owen stayed home just like I did. So we live in the same town I grew up in, and I went to college right home. So I lived at home until Jason and I married, and Owen has done the same thing. Owen you might as well stay home and not pay that rent, huh, O?
Yeah, I'm glad we live in a college town. It makes my life a lot easier.
It's been a blessing, huh?
Yes.
And so because Micah went to play ball, he went out of, he's about an hour and a half. He's about 90 miles away. So he gets to live in the dorm. And his dad had that same experience. His dad was probably about, I guess Jason was about an hour away from school. So he lived in the dorm also. So Micah is getting Jason's experience and Owen has mine. So...
Miss Margaret Lynch says she got a lovely bunch of hydrangeas today. There were a little limp, so she plunged them in a sink of water, and they turned out perfect.
Did they turn out perfect? Perfect. Yes, I was teaching the other day that if you have hydrangeas and they are a bit limp, they are very thirsty flowers. And so if you will take that hydrangea and give that stem a really good cut and submerge it in water, the entire stem, it will cause the stem to rehydrate and it'll be happy and pretty. Any more questions, you guys?
Jane on YouTube says 28 years and still making beautiful floral designs. Well done, and thank you for sharing your ideas.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for being here. I still have plenty more years to go, so no worries. I will be here for a while, I promise. So glad y'all are here with me. Any questions, Owen?
Beely Bloom says, New Jersey florist here, what are you charging for this beautiful arrangement?
So this arrangement is $95. This dozen roses is $95.
Jane Lewis says 28 years and still making beautiful floral designs.
Yeah, Victoria just read that one.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
I
all right.
stole your
I shouldn't have paid attention. I think that's it. I think that's all we got.
Guys, thank y'all for being here. Go ahead. You got another question?
Well, Miss Yvonne said it's a very beautiful arrangement for her 50th, and she and her husband will be married 69 years on Sunday.
Wow, congratulations on Sunday. So on the 4th of August, congratulations to you. Guys, if you have any questions about how we do things here at Flowers by the Bunch, you can always ask. We would love to answer any questions you might have. Do me a great big favor. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up or a heart. That would be wonderful. That just helps people to see us. Do me a great big favor. Sprinkle this video. We will be back tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock over on Facebook to do our devotion. And then we'll be back tomorrow afternoon to make some more flowers. So y'all come back to see us. We'll see you soon.
Oh.